Alright, it's time to get our reward. Mount Olympus. The Golden Blades. Fuck this. It's gold. I'd like to think that if your Mount Olympus would be made of pure diamond. Forget gold. Diamond's more valuable. Gold. A save point, huh? Look at this. So we got statues. A statue of Ares and a statue of the Minotaur dude that I killed. The bones of your defeated foe. Destroy it! I can't. Ares. You're finally free of your servitude to this insane war god. You can't break this. People say you can break the statue. What? Really? I don't think so. Doesn't show it taking damage. I think people are full of shit. Huh. Okay, looks like you can. It takes 10 to 15 minutes? What? I'm not doing that. I'm not fighting this for 10 to 15 minutes. I'm not doing that. Fuck that. This is the throne of the God of War. Take your rightful place upon it. Yes.
And from that point forward, throughout the rest of time, whenever men rode forth to battle for good cause or for evil, they did so under the watchful eye of the man who had defeated a god. They were driven forward by Kratos, the mortal who had become the new god of war.
Aha! You have conquered God of War. Yes. Prepare to be a god. Gold trophy. I got a lot of trophies playing this. Now attempt God mode. Treasures of Olympus have been unlocked. God mode has been unlocked. What's Treasures of Olympus? Huh. The hell's this? What am I looking at? Oh, the credits. Of course. Well, you can definitely see how this game laid the groundwork for a franchise. You can definitely see how it is a little rough around the edges in certain areas. But it definitely, you know, it got so refined in the later games and became an awesome series. Pretty good game. I remember when it first came out and I played it. I never played anything like it. I was like, wow, you know, the graphics on the PS2 were outstanding. I remember. So, I definitely like the game. Definitely, I'm actually lower this. The thing's distracting me, the singing. I definitely like the game. I definitely can see how, you know, it led into an awesome series. And the game by itself, it does kind of hold up. I'd say there's a few things that are a little bit messed up about it, like the really weird parts, like when you're underwater and that stupid wall comes after you and kills you instantly. And because of that, you lose your inventory, like the muse key. Like, obviously, that was a stupid part and shouldn't have been in the game. The silly instant deaths in a lot of parts. However, the checkpoint system is quite good. And I think this did lead to a series of games, you know, these fighting-style beat-em-up hack-and-slash games that came after it. You can see how it laid the groundwork for those. And the combination of being an action game and a platformer, an interesting story, pretty damn good. Pretty damn good game. And I definitely, I'm glad that I got to experience it, because like I said, I played the game in the mid-2000s when it came out. Well, I never beat it. I only got to that the area that made the dungeon with Pandora's box, and I never did any of it. I just, like, was so confused at what I was supposed to be fucking doing that I never figured it out. And, but I'm glad I came back and eventually, you know, put the time and effort into it to beat it and see what it was all about. God of War 1 and 2 were the two ones I never played. It's just a shame. It really is a shame that a game like this, you know, the series got milked so fucking much. So three games in the main series, God of War 1, 2, and 3. You know, one on mod, or two, the one God of War 3 on PS3, 2 for fucking PSP, and then God of War Ascension that just didn't need to fucking be made. It was such a worthless game. Added nothing whatsoever to the series, added nothing to the story. It was just a cheap cash-in attempt for them to make money before the next-gen consoles came out. But, you know, we haven't heard any word. Kratos will return, of course, but we haven't heard any word about God of War 4. But it's very heavily hinted and rumored that it will happen. Saying that basically Kratos didn't die at the end of God of War 3, and that there's still, you know, hinting that he's going to survive and it's going to be a fourth game. I don't know. So, we conclude a game, one of the greats from the PS2 generation, and wondering if or when they will continue the series. I do get the feeling they are making it. They're making it for PS4. They just don't want to talk about it yet. So I wonder what this Treasures of Olympus is that I unlocked. How do you look at the Treasures of Olympus? What are they? Of course, now the credits for the HD remaster. Treasures. There's the Treasures of Olympus. Learn how God. Oh, here you go. Making God of War trailers, credits, deleted levels. See levels that were cut. Really? The Birth of the Beast. Discover a secret from Kratos' past. Could this be his next adventure? Here's God Mode, the most difficult version. Advanced players only. 3D models didn't make it to the game. Here's the challenge of the gods. 10 rooms, 10 challenges. Beat God Mode to unlock this stuff. Look. New costumes after you beat God Mode and 2 secret messages. The birth of the beast.
This is our sort of batch of things that you didn't get to see. That some of them I'm glad you didn't, and some of them I wish you would have, time permitting, but it wasn't. So here we go. Okay, now this is actually this. Now this wasn't a deleted level. This was the prototype that the team put together.
Look at this.
I don't even know what the date on this is, but you know, 3 years
looks like shit.
ago, and
it looks awful.
It was really just to get the basic mechanics, not even tuned or anything. But you know, you could run, you could swim, you could swing, and
swim.
If you look at this level a little bit, you'll see we certainly didn't reuse any of the main art, but you'll see kind of like that shot there is sort of the precursor to some of the shots we have in the game. The rope swinging mechanic, and a lot of this, so you'll recognize if you've played the game and remembered the game, you'll recognize some of the the level when you pull into Athens at first. This bottom section is based on that, and the whole cliffs that you climb here. We actually just ripped these out directly from the demo, and built the cliffs level, the Cliffs of Madness or the Cliffs of Insanity. I forget what we ended up calling it. God, it's amazing to see this little guy running around. He looks so not like Kratos. That guy there was the original Cyclops who's dying, who just never really looked like a Cyclops. He just looked like a big guy with a stick. And then this was the room, the only room that we built that was like the final room, and everything else was kind of rough. And I remember seeing this and going, everybody saw this and said, man, this looks awesome. And then we were like, yeah, but how in the hell are we going to get, you know, all the levels in the game looking as good as that?
This looks like shit. What are you talking about?
I don't know if we ended up getting them all looking as good as that, but I think we came a lot closer than I thought we would. This level's pretty cool. This was our test level for the Icarus wing. So, you know, Icarus and Daedalus. The Icarus story where he flew too close to the sun with the wings that he had made, and the wax melted and he fell to his death. That was sort of the inspiration for the mechanic. And I still love this. I absolutely wish this had made it into the game.
Yeah, no Icarus level, huh?
We just, you know, it really came down to time and going, you know what, let's focus, let's get our fighting really good, and let's get our platforming better, and let's get our puzzles working, and maybe we can come back to this. And as is often the case, you just never have the chance to. So I'd love to see something like this, you know, in future God of War titles.
And there was. They put that shit in it.
Great, it's just fun. I mean, it's fun to fly around. And what was cool about this is it wasn't just a flying level. It was, you know, you could land and you could walk around, and it was a seamless experience versus, you know, now it's time for the flying level. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, I look at this now and I'm like, damn, we should have gotten that in. Awesome. These were the original Harpies. They were a lot bigger.
Oh, look at this. Look
they
at
still
this
read
Kratos.
better. They look awesome, but we just realized we needed more of like a bat-like, small, like little annoyance enemy. These guys played like the skeletons, basically, flying versions of the skeletons, and there just wasn't much of a difference in gameplay, so we ended up kind of shrinking them down and making them bats. And this was what we called the Mounting the Titan level, which is Kronos the giant titan in the desert. And sadly, right now, the only way you get on the Titan is through a movie. And originally, this was how it was going to be. You see this big thing that's like a big watermelon in the background. That's actually Kronos. And Tobin, the designer, he's got him kind of moving towards the player, and those things that are falling are like mountains that are crumbling and stuff. So it's kind of like Kronos is rushing towards the player, crawling, and you're trying to run ahead of him in these platforming sections.
That would have been really
so
cool.
that you can ultimately jump onto the structure that's on his back, and that'll lead you up to the temple. And I still love that idea. I really, really wish we could have done it. And it was just, we showed this to the tech guys, and we showed it to the artists, and they were just like, dude, that's going to take forever. This was the original boss. There was a boss that originally, look at that, that's awesome, that originally guarded Pandora's box. And again, we just didn't have time. And I know it's lame that that's the one thing I regret about the Pandora design, is that there are no bosses that guard the box. You have the Minotaur boss down below, and then we've got this conveyor belt section, and that's kind of it. And we just ran out of time. This was originally pretty cool. It was,
oh wow,
you know, you had this moving platform up above. You had this giant kind of harpy vulture in the center. that was guarding the box. And she had these eggs scattered all around the level, and in order to sort of entice her to fly around, you'd have to go find her eggs and break the eggs, and you'd kind of take the little baby birds inside and you'd kind of carry them around and use them as bait. And again, not only was it kind of a cool mechanic because you were slower as you carried these things around, but also I think it really helped with the character of Kratos. I mean, here he is, cracking open eggs and ripping out little infant birds and using them for his own desires, and really pissing off this mama bird. I thought was pretty cool. So here's just another quick idea. These are just almost like little sketches for levels, where you have a big open environment and then you've got the walls come down and it becomes a maze, and you either do something and the walls come back up, or it's on a timer.
That would have been neat,
we did
too.
Tons of these things, where I'd have an idea or designer would have an idea, and it was like, try something like this. So this level is actually a level that we went so far as that we showed the press, we got it in magazines, and this was really a hard cut for us to make, and especially for me to make. I love the mechanic of it, and I love the platforming and the concept. And the concept was that you're riding this elevator, and if you get knocked off, obviously you'll die. And if you get off the elevator, the idea was it was going to originally be being chased by this massive sandstorm. And the elevator was really the only thing. It was sort of a magical elevator that protected you from the sand. And if you got off the elevator, the elevator would bypass you and the sandstorm would engulf you and kill you. And the two things we didn't have time to do is we didn't have time to tune it, and we didn't have time to build the sandstorm. But what I loved was this whole idea of getting off the elevator and having to catch back up with it. So you'd have these little forks in the road, and either you'd be forced, like coming up, you'd be forced to get off the elevator, or you could choose different paths. And if you took one path, it was more combat heavy. One path was more platform heavy. And as you can see, we had this pretty much finished from a standpoint of the art and the setup, but we were missing the big sandstorm, and we were missing the tuning time to really make this fun, and so it ended up getting cut. This I love. This was great. This is great. I love this for the elevator now. It gets smaller.
It gets smaller.
I guess we talked about putting this in the actual, see, they suck. Whoever played this couldn't keep up with the elevator, but that was the whole idea, trying to keep up with the elevator. So it's tough. It's really tough when you have to cut ideas that you're really passionate about out of the game, but you do so you can make the other ideas that you do have in the game shine even brighter. So it's sort of a constant process, or it's a constant aspect of the process that's just a really tough thing that you go through, but I think it's worth it because it makes the overall product better.
Well, that was an interesting video to see the stuff that they cut from the game. That would have been neat to have a boss fight when you get Pandora's box, and also that elevator thing looked pretty good too, and the Kronos sequence, Kronos coming after you. That was pretty neat. Alright, so everyone, thank you for joining me for the God of War playthrough. I definitely appreciate it, and here's hoping maybe in the future. I do have God of War 2. It's definitely not something I'm looking to do immediately, but in the near future, maybe I'll be doing that as well. Very nice.